going on. It's a little impromptu live. Not a whole lot going on right now. I'm gonna just wait and kind of see if anybody hops in here. I'm gonna just kind of take everybody through the backyard and just a quick walkthrough of kind of where we're at. Uh, I've been posting and talking about I was gonna do some sand leveling and everything on the backyard. I've done that. So we're probably almost 5 days after that. So with that being said, I was just gonna kind of take some people uh, through the yard, just kind of what it's looking like, um, where we're at with it, and we're in the recovery phase right now. I will have a video coming out on it. There'll be some content around it. There's gonna be a full video, uh, but of course, I'm kind of waiting to get a little bit of recovery time on it, so I can get a good mow on it, kind of figure out exactly what it feels like. Do I think that it was worth everything that I did from a sand leveling standpoint? Um, but it is done for now. Like the bulk of it is done. I still do have a pile of sand over there that's still here that I can do a little bit more leveling and everything to it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take some people around, let you see what the yard is looking like in real time. So I see a lot of people are starting to jump in here. So um, it's just going to be a walkthrough of the lawn and the recovery after my sand leveling and top dressing uh, from this past weekend. So we're 5 days post doing that, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and just kind of show everybody what it's looking like. It is still recovering. It's in a recovery period, but I'm gonna get ready to get my first cut on it tomorrow. We finally have rain coming, and it's been dry. Like, man, it's been dry. So let me see. This first off, this is my first time doing this, so I'm trying to see. Somebody drop a comment or something in the chat, just so I can see how to work this thing. Maybe it's that button right there. Live chat. Yo, yo. Appreciate it. All right, somebody dropped a comment in there. Appreciate that. Um, so I can see how to work this thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip around and show y'all what it's looking like. If that'll work, yeah, that's the button. All right, cool. So overall, like we are looking pretty green. Uh, we're definitely getting some growth back into it. Looking at where we are, I'll tell you one thing: the squirrels are not letting me be great at this lower height of cut. Uh, I think they're probably the worst this year than I've ever had, and it would happen on the year that I'm trying to mow it low, where I don't have the tall canopy to cover it up. I saw one back here that was absolutely terrible that it almost hurt my heart with how deep it was. Oh yeah, like I'm having holes like this size. I mean that's almost at least 2 inches deep, and there's three of them like right there together, and you can see it's ripping the grass out along with it. So uh yeah, and this is probably like the worst one. I mean that's how deep it is. So that's one of the battles that I'm gonna be battling with. I mean, I don't know what else to do about it other than I'll grab some sand over there from the pile and I'll drop it in and kind of fill those areas in. But uh, I did get 3 tons of sand. And by the way, I'm going to make a video on all of this, so it'll be a more polished and comprehensive review of it. But this is what it's looking like 5 days post me sand leveling. So I got 3 tons of sand. I put down probably, I would say probably 2.5 tons of that sand is what went down. Right now, you can see. There's a good amount of sand down here in the canopy. And this is kind of what it's looking like from a close-up standpoint. You can see the length. It has definitely grown. It's time for a cut. So I'm actually going to cut it tomorrow. And from this perspective, you can see how beat up the grass blades and stuff are from everything that I put it through uh, last weekend. And it is in a recovery state right now. It's beat up, battered, and bruised right now. Still holding some pretty decent color, not looking too bad. And I did have a pretty good success with not burying as much of the grass blade. Being that it is cool season, it's not going to spread the way that warm season grass does to be able to push through the sand. So uh, I didn't want to bury it too heavy and go too heavy too quick, especially with us getting ready to come into the summertime. And with us coming into the summertime, it happened really quick for us. We've been in the 90s almost ever since I did this. So the lawn has not only struggled with the recovery of what I did to it in preparation for the leveling, but it also got its first hit of heat like right along with it at the same time. So this is probably one of the heavier areas of sand that we did. This is probably a low spot of where I went with the sand. Still having pretty decent coverage through here, not burying it too deep. And just by walking on it, you can feel that there's a difference. This sand still needs to settle in some more. I can tell that it's not settled. I've been watering it daily since I've done this in the morning, trying to get everything settled in. And I've also been rolling it. Tomorrow I'll be working from home, so I'll be able to get out here in the morning right after my irrigation runs. I'll come out and I'll roll it and roll the lawn. And in me rolling it, I'm leveling and kind of compacting this sand and everything down. So uh, again, this is another one of the areas that's probably pretty heavy from a sand standpoint, but we'll see how it pushes through. I did get 3/10 of a pound of N on it before I actually did this process. And then the week before that, I had 1/10 of a pound of the Ryan Noor soluble 17017 that I put down. So it's not looking too bad from a recovery standpoint, but it is recovering right now, and we'll see what it looks like here in a couple of weeks. I'll start putting together the video that's going to be pretty comprehensive of everything that I did. There's a reason why I don't have a leveling video out there, because I don't do this very often. This is uncharted territory for me that I am learning as I go. And I'm bringing y'all along with me. So I hope y'all get some tidbits out of there. I'll tell you the ups and downs that I also experienced with it, things that I recommend y'all doing that kind of worked well for me. And then I'll also tell you the things that didn't work so well. But while I'm doing all of this watering, I'm also doing a irrigation audit. So you'll see the different cups and everything that I've got out here. These are the ones that I'm using. Just picked them up off of Amazon. Very easy to measure the amount of irrigation that's going down on it. So I've got 10 of them. I had 10 of them, and I've got them throughout the lawn. So there's another one. There's another one there. There's another one up top. And I've got them throughout the lawn over here. So with that, I'm actually dialing in my irrigation so that because I'm running it so often, it actually gives me the opportunity to be able to dial this in while I'm doing it. And then once we get finished and I go back with our normal watering, I'll know exactly what my settings need to be, how long I need to run it to get down a certain amount of water. So with that, water management is going to be key for me this year with this low mow fescue. The goal is an inch by the fall, and right now I think I've been able to get it down to an inch and a quarter with the E-Time Master. As soon as I'm not gonna put that on for the first cut. I'm probably gonna give this another probably 2 weeks before I put the E-Time Master back on it, because it's a heavy piece of equipment. Like it is heavy. And just by me walking on it right now, I can feel that it's soft. Like the sand still hasn't settled in place yet. So it's a little soft. I'm gonna get out here with the lightest mower that I have, which is the Toro 22 inch 60 volt. So I'm gonna get out here with that. That's the lightest mower I've got. I'm gonna put a cut on it tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure it'll look pretty good. But I think it's also going to expose a little bit more of the sand, because right now I've got a nice canopy over the top of it, which is probably, the grass is probably close to 2 inches now, even from where the sand is. It's probably about 2 inches tall, so I'm gonna at least get it back down to an inch and a half at a minimum, getting it down to an inch and a half, and I'll go ahead and put a cut on it with that 60 volt. So should look pretty good, but it's for sure probably going to expose more of the sand, which right now we're just in a recovery process, and that's kind of what it's going to be. So just a quick little impromptu. I'm gonna take just wanted to take y'all around, let y'all see kind of what it was looking like. Uh, if y'all do have any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll hang around for a little while, a couple more minutes. If y'all got any questions, I'll field some questions. But uh, this is it. This is kind of real time. Y'all going to see what the yard's looking like. So it ain't no camera tricks. It ain't no color grading. None of that. This is kind of legit what it looks like, what the beds and stuff look like. Uh, yeah, this is raw footage. Uh, yeah, if anybody's got any questions or anything, I'll hang around for a couple of minutes here, and y'all just pop them in here. One thing that I'm seeing is these squirrels they're not gonna let me be great this year at all. They all in my flower beds. I don't think they've ever been this bad. I think this is probably the worst I've had since I've been here and been doing the yard. It's Yeah, they're a pain. They're a pain for me right now. I'll be honest with you. It's a little annoying. Cool. Got a question. Anyway, some options outside of Roundup. Uh, Quack grass, pre-emergent is probably going to be your big one. Post-emergently controlling quack grass. I don't know, goosegrass. I know some options for goosegrass. Right off the top of my head, I am not coming up with something for quack grass right off the top of my head. Are you talking cool season or warm season? I'm gonna just assume cool season. Uh, right off the top of my head, cool season. Okay, yeah. Quackgrass is a hard one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Leave me a comment or something on one of my videos. I'll go take a look. I got a couple ideas, possibly, but I'm not 100% sure on it. Just go to one of my videos, no matter which one it is. Leave me a comment, and I'll respond to you later on tonight. I got a couple ideas maybe that you might could use, but just send me a comment and I'll respond to you and let you know. Appreciate that. Uh, how do I maneuver the more around the beds, keeping it? Um, yeah, so so one of the benefits of the Toro mowers is I can close it off and not use the side discharge and just like mulch all the time. So the way that I do it is I mulch. I use the side discharge. I will side discharge when the grass is really long or tall. I'll side discharge, but for the most time I cut frequently and I stay up on my cutting. So first off, my clippings are very small. Like I don't have very long clippings. They're really tiny. So if they do fall into the grass, into the flower beds, you really don't see it. And it dissolves and disappears within a couple of days, that you don't even see it anymore in the mulch beds. But what I will say is typically when I cut, if I am going to side discharge, I will cut in whatever the direction is that throws the grass clippings that way. Like I will always, if I'm going to side discharge, throw your grass clippings away from your bed. So whatever direction you have to cut to do that, especially on your trim passes, do it that way. If you have to make two passes to be able to keep you further away from your grass blades, so when you're cutting the main lawn and you come down and you make a turn, make sure you have enough space that when it blows and you make your turn, you're turning in the direction that's always blowing your grass clippings back inside and not towards your flower beds. So that's my method of keeping them clean when I'm mowing. And then when I come and I clean up my edges, which this is how much the grass has grown since I've cut it. My edges are now this long, and this has probably only been like a week and a half since I did it. But I like to stay up on my edging, so that way when I do have to come through and clean all of this up, the clippings will be small enough that when they fall down in there, they kind of just dissolve in a couple of days. And so like they just disappear, to be honest with you. They're just gone. Um, you can do that, but one thing that I am gonna do to keep my beds a little cleaner this year is I'm about to apply some mulch glue. So I'm apply some mulch glue, that way it holds my mulch in place, and then you can come in with a blower and be able to blow any grass clippings out of here. So I've seen the mulch glue. I've actually got it in the garage, and I'm going to be applying the mulch glue here this season. And then that way, if I do get stuff in here, like this time of year, we get all of these little seed head things that fall from the trees. So typically, I'll try to get all of this cleaned up. So I'll just come in and I'll blow these while it's dry and kind of get all of this out of here. And then I'm going to apply the mulch glue, hold everything in place. And then if I do get stuff in here, grass clippings or whatnot, I can blow it out. So mowing in the right direction and kind of throwing it away from your yard, that's the main thing that I do to kind of keep it clean. Uh, and another thing, I'll go ahead and give y'all a little insight. What I'm actually gonna make a video about this. Design your flower beds in a way that makes it more efficient for you to actually mow. So I don't have very sharp turns and things on my beds. That's for a reason. That's by design. So it makes it easy just to walk in a swooping line, and all the time, like when you get to my edges, even when I have to make a turn, it's a swooping turn. It's not a sharp jutted turn. So that's another thing that I do for that. All right, Cam, how much water are you putting down in this heat since sand leveling? Yeah, with the temperatures there, uh, I've been putting down at least a quarter inch of water. Some areas, which I'm dialing in my irrigation, so it's been anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of water every day. I've been doing it every day, and yes, that 90 plus heat is killing me right now. So the lawn seems to be recovering. It's starting to recover from it. So it's doing it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there with the heat, but I'll be glad for it to get a break with some cooler temperatures and some good Lord watering because we need it. We should have some coming over the weekend. Uh, I'll take a couple more. Do you soak your seeds? I bought the seeds as you. No, I do not. If you're talking about pre-germinating seeds, I do not pre-germinate seeds. So um, no, I haven't done it. It can be done. I just haven't done it before. I'm thinking about doing it just to get the experience and kind of see how it goes, but I haven't done it before, and it's not necessary, but it can help speed up the germination process. Um, you heard of Fusillade. So Fusillade, um, I'm gonna just say star 1141. Um, Fusillade is what I was thinking about. That's the one that I was thinking about, but I'm not sure what the label says. That's the one that I was thinking about, but I just wanted to confirm on the label before I told you that. But I'm not sure, so that's why I said leave a comment. Um, as far as for the trim pass, I do get some rutting. I don't know how else to avoid it with a push mower. Sometimes what I will do is I will not do I will not do the actual trim pass the way that I like right along the edge. What I'll do is I'll just cut along my normal pattern and then just kind of make sure I cut down all the way to the edge. Um, this is kind of hard to explain, but instead of running my normal trim pass where I just follow this edge and go all the way around, say I'm mowing my verticals and I'm coming down this direction, I'll just come down and then I'll just turn, hit my edge from a cutting standpoint, back up, and then turn and then do my next pass. And that's when I see that I need to give my edges a break because it's rutting or it's getting a lot of stress um, on my edges. That's kind of how I'll do it to kind of try to give it a rest. So yeah, that's the it's kind of hard with a push mower, and especially if you've got a heavy mower like the Time Master, it wants to rut because you're gonna walk in that same path every time. Another thing that I'll do is instead of being right up on the edge, I'll slide over a couple of inches, half inch to a foot. Of course, at that point, it leaves more area that I've got to come back and hit with the string trimmer. But that's what I'll sometimes if I'm starting to see a lot of rutting, that's what I'll do. I'll slide over a little bit and get out of that track. But then you just got to come back and hit it with the weed eater. Um, have an excellent season, bro. Appreciate that, J Bear. Appreciate that, boy. Um, all right, I think I hit all of the questions right now. Um, what is mulch glue and where do you purchase it? Pete's got it on his website, gciturf.com. I got some from him. I like supporting Pete. Good guy. He's got it on his website. You can get it in the 32 ounce or you can get it in the gallon. So those are the two options to be able to buy it. Mulch glue is exactly what it is. It's mulch glue. It's glue that you spray on your mulch or your pond straw or whatever covering you've got in your beds. Put that on there and it holds the mulch or whatever your covering is in place. Um, that's that's what it does. It does exactly what the name is, mulch glue. Yeah. So, is this a good time? Is this a good time? You can also, if you wanted to find mulch glue anywhere else, they got it all on Amazon. Petra's got a brand. There's Mulch Creek, which is I think what Pete is the brand that peat sales. Uh, you can get it from a number of places. If you don't want to get it from Pete's website, just go to Amazon, type in mulch glue, and a whole bunch of them will pop up. Uh, what's up, Kenny? Hey man, what's going on, man? I hope you're safe over there. I hope everything's going good. Uh, hey man, I appreciate you for joining in, man. That was I had to actually read that name twice. I was like, this ain't the Kenny that I think this is. But hey man, I appreciate the work that you're doing. Appreciate your service. I appreciate you, bro. Just know that we're over here in the trenches also. I'll just leave it like that. I think you're aware of what we've got going on over here. So I appreciate you, man. And again, that's one of my colleagues, everybody, over there protecting and serving for us. So I appreciate your service, appreciate what you're doing for us. Um, I'm using no, I did not use fabric under there. I'm not gonna say I'm anti-fabric, but I'm anti-fabric if I'm using mulch. Um, Rock is a different story, but for mulch, yeah, I don't see a need of doing it. Get on a good pre-emergent program in your flower beds, and you can see how clean my beds were. The only growing things that I had in my bed this spring was grass seed that got in there from when I seeded in the fall. That was the only growing grass that I've had to clean out. And like right now, you can see how clean my beds are. The debris that you see in there is from the trees. Like that's my beds are clean as far as what it comes from for weeds, and there's no landscape fabric under there. Never has been. Uh, cool. All right. If nobody has anything else, I'm gonna get ready to jump off of here. Uh, Baby boy is now awake. The reason I was out here hanging out because he was asleep, and I had a little free time. So I know I hadn't jumped on here in a while. I do have content coming. I'm working on some videos that I'm hoping you're hoping to get it out this weekend. But I have been recording, so there'll probably be a flood of videos coming here soon. I've got some content that's backed up. I've been out here grinding, so cleaning everything up, getting everything prepped for the season, so it'll look good for all the videos and all the information that I want to talk about. So uh, I'm gonna get ready to jump off of here. Did you spray granular? When it comes to weed control, I only use liquid. I'm not a fan of granular weed control. It's always liquid. Um, but yeah, all right, everybody. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for jumping in here. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. We're continuing to grow. And if you haven't already, go check out my man Polo over at Polo Fields Lawn Service. Uh, the next part of We Workin crew, and also go check out my man Turf over at Turf Therapy. Big shout out to Polo for popping 20,000 subs this week. He is on fire this week, and or this season rather, not just this week, but his content is dope too. If you enjoy mine and you like my content, Polo's on the same level, delivering that quality information and content. So go over there and check him out also. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here and go take care of daddy duties. All right, y'all have a good one. And as always, just know we working. We out of here.